Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will talk about Agile and why Agile is taking up and getting more popularity when compared to SDLC, and why people are shifting towards Agile rather than SDLC or the life cycle model. Now when we were studying and we were pursuing our education, we are pursuing our higher education, we were discussing about SDLC in our colleges, right? Now what is SDLC? It is system development life cycle, where we firstly analyze the requirement, then we will design, then we will develop, then after development there is testing, then after testing there is deployment, then finally there is the maintenance phase. Apology if I have mistaken something or I have not given the steps in a proper format, but overall the process was firstly gather the requirement, then develop, then test, then deploy, and then go for the maintenance. Now this entire process is what? This is lengthy process, and we end up getting the product after many months, maybe years. And the industry is ever changing. It is a dynamic industry. These days things changes rapidly. Now for example, a user comes for a product, we develop a product over a period of 1 year, and later down the line the market changes, there is no requirement of the product. What happens? The product will fail. Rather, what happens with Agile methodology? In Agile, what happens is we distribute the entire development process into small chunks, and we do some small process, we deploy it, then again we develop some small chunk, we again deploy it. So we distribute our work into smaller chunks and we finally deploy those smaller chunk, right? Now there are different type of implementations. One of the popular implementation or the way how Agile is implemented is Scrum, and we will talk about Scrum in our next video. But the overall concept behind Agile is to distribute and conquer. Make things in a smaller chunk and deploy it. Now based on that smaller chunk, there could be minor changes and we can change it right away, and this is much more convenient. Imagine, for example, we develop a product and the requirement and the final product are not matching. It's a chaotic situation, right? So in that kind of scenario, Agile is definitely a beneficial thing. Now we will again check the methodology and rules of Agile in couple of minutes, but finally Agile is the way to go, and with emergence of microservices, implementing Agile is way much easier than ever before. Alright, so we will also discuss on microservices, and I suppose you may find a video on my YouTube channel again on microservices, so that is again a other thing. But apart from everything else, apart from microservices, Agile methodology is the way to go when it comes to industry for majority of situation. Not all the situation, but for majority of the situation, people are switching towards Agile. Alright, so now finally let us check the Agile website, where we have the methodology and rules and things like that. What exactly is the concept behind Agile? Alright, so this is Agile Manifesto, and definitely you can visit this website by visiting agilemanifesto.org, and let us quickly try to understand what exactly it says. It says, we are uncovering better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others do it. Through this work, we have come to value. Now here is the important things. These things which are in a bolder text and a bigger text, let us read these. We will value who? We will value individuals and interactions. We will value more working software. We will value more in customer collaboration and responding to change. So these four are very important. In fact, individual and interactions. So we will value what? We will not value that what was a requirement or what is the end product requirement. Rather, we will value individuals and interaction. We would like to interact and try to bring up the exact requirement. Many a time it happens that the requirement is ambiguous. We don't know what exact product is required. So individual and interactions is definitely important. Then working software. This is very important. Now friends, when it comes to agile methodology, emphasis on the working software is very important. So what happens is we try to build smallest chunk of working software which can be like deployed and tested, and by building these small chunks of working software we like collaborate all of these pieces into one and create the entire project. So working software is definitely a pillar out of 4 when it comes to agile methodology. Then customer collaboration. This is again very important. There should be a close collaboration of customer when it comes to development. Then only we will get what is required. Based on the requirement, if we try to build the finished product, we may end up getting a slightly different product. This is the reason why customer collaboration is very important, and definitely customer collaboration is again yet another very important pillar of agile methodology. And finally, responding to change. So in here, for example, we have built a product or a microservice and there is a requirement of change. The situation changed. The nature of software industry is dynamic. So there could be like changes, the requirement of changes in the plan. So if there is requirement of changes, then simply do it. Don't stick with the plan itself. So definitely check out the manifesto and try to understand in a greater detail. Visit agilemanifesto.org once, and you can also check the 12 principles of agile software. Check it, read it, and you will able to get the overall idea properly. Now in short, the overall idea is to distribute and conquer, divide and rule. Divide the software into the smallest possible chunks, build them and move forward. Every chunk can be tested individually, every chunk can be deployed, and based on the feedback of the customer we can like again change the chunks and move forward, and eventually we will end up getting a better software based on agile. Definitely this is a better approach of developing a software compared with the waterfall model. Alright, so this is it, and definitely before ending this video, agile is not superior than the waterfall model or SDLC, but based on the current scenario, agile performs better when it comes to software development. Why? Because the dynamic nature of the industry as of now. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope I have made myself clear. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.